Hey, my Liptons. I wanted to come in here and give a little bit of pop culture news. Um, for my Bollywood girlies that are still waiting for that Aradhana video, there's a quick change. It's coming. Y'all know I be procrastinating on my Bollywood content, but I actually finished watching Aradhana, and both. Well, the Aradhana review that'll be put up tonight, and the I will be discussing another Bollywood topic um as well that will be put up on my channel, so y'all will just have to be on the lookout for that video. um because I'm noticing there's a lot of trends of a lot of older Bollywood films being re-released in theaters, which is very interesting. So definitely be on the lookout for that. I apologize, I know I've been slacking, I know I've been procrastinating, but it's been a lot. But I'm definitely here. But I definitely want to get into some quick pop culture topics, okay? I want to discuss quickly about, Kendrick and SZA, they're going on tour. Great for that. I also want to discuss Anook and Alex. I think her name is Constantly? I don't know. Alex winning Model of the Year, and Anook Ye's, I guess, subtle shade now she threw. Um, I also want to discuss this, like, Snow White, y'all. This Snow White live action, y'all. I don't know, child. I don't know, child. We're gonna discuss it. And then lastly, I also want to give, you, my subscribers, a recommendation on a documentary, The Menendez Brothers, on Netflix, that I also want to discuss too, because I watched the documentary last night and I have a few thoughts. So, but yeah, please subscribe to the channel. Let's get up to 1,000 subscribers. The goal is to get up to 1,000. Thank y'all so much. And let's discuss Kendrick. Listen, Kendrick has been a main topic on my channel for the past, like, for the past, at this point, month, I think. Kendrick has just been on my radar. I said it in past videos. Kendrick has piqued my interest back in hip hop. It's been, honestly, I think, and I've always, like I said, I knew Kendrick casually in the past. Drake, obviously, whatever, Drake, whatever. But I would say, like, the past 5, 6 years, hip hop has not really piqued my interest. It's been very boring. It's been very just heavily. Hip hop has changed a lot. We just have to be honest. Hip hop has definitely changed with the drill rapping, the mumble rapping, which I was just not fans of it. That kind of a rap. So hip hop has turned me off. But like I said, the heavy hitters brought my interest back to the game. So shout out to that. But I did see this news that Kendrick is going on tour. Which says, I guess they're both the headliners. I don't know, but, like, they're going on tour. Listen. This is, I don't know. In a weird way, I was like, wait, why is he going on tour with SZA? Like, Kendrick. Let's be very clear. Like, obviously, outside of this beef, honestly, before this beef, Kendrick went on tour with the Mr. Morale album. He sold out. He had, like, the highest grossing solo tour as a solo rapper at that time. So it was like, I felt like, Kendrick could have definitely done this on his own. He has enough work to go tour, especially with this GNX album. So I was like, why is him and SZA touring together? But then again, I thought about it. I was like, it really, really seems like SZA and Kendrick have, like, a really great, almost like brother sisterly relationship. They get along really, really well. They have great music together. Obviously, when you look at All the Stars, when you look at Luther now with this new track and GNX, they definitely love working together. So, and you can tell that Kendrick is genuinely a fan of SZA. SZA is definitely a fan of him. She showed him love at the Pop Out concert. She was there, supported him. Even interviewed him at, I believe, for Harper's Bazaar. So they have a good relationship with each other, and I think that Kendrick, he doesn't fool with a lot of artists, but, like, as far as, like, when it comes to particularly, like, I would say, like, the two main, like, girlies that, well, three, let me say, the three main girlies that I've noticed that Kendrick he genuinely respects their artistry: Beyonce, SZA, and I noticed Doechii as well. I noticed that he's been bigging up Dolce too. So he definitely has a good relationship with these girls. So they're going on tour. It's gonna be a spring tour. Um, I'm gonna see if I'm gonna try to make one of those dates. Okay, I'm trying to make one of those dates. Okay, hopefully T-Mobile will give me a cute little deal, a cute little some concert ticket deal. Okay, so I can make it to the tour. Cause let me tell y'all something. I've heard that SZA has genuinely improved her stage presence and her live vocals. It's no shit. I love SZA, but SZA in the past. Y'all can go back, and it's no shit. And I really like SZA, but SZA, struggled in the past with them vocals live. But I've heard, especially recently with this SOS tour, it was great. Her stage presence was amazing. Vocals was on point. So I didn't go to that one. I didn't really see that one, but from what I've heard, the people that went, they said it was amazing. Of course, you already know Kendrick Lamar is a performer. He has stage presence. He has stamina. Breath control is on point. Kendrick Lamar is going to give you. I think people are genuinely not ready for the Super Bowls. Kendrick is going to freaking kill it at the Super Bowl. So I'm excited that they're doing this. And obviously, we got to, poke the bear here a little bit. He does have one date where one of the concert dates is at Toronto, which is very interesting. And apparently on that date, I think it's June 12th. It's on Father's Day. And, people are already making their jokes and their memes. Of course, they had to tie it to Drake and everything. So that will be also extremely interesting. Someone said on Twitter that, Drake is going to try to be petty and try to buy up all them stadium seats at that Toronto date. And then someone else said Kendrick is a psychopath enough to actually go and perform all them empty seats and still perform. So listen, it is what it is. But yeah, I'm excited to see these two really, pop out and show Ninja's what it is, okay? So I'm excited to see these two, this dynamic duo. Kendrick is going to have a monumental 2024 was his year, but 2025 is going to be his year, okay? This is where, and obviously, Kendrick, yes, the masses knew him prior to this beef, but the masses are going to know him in 2025, okay? People have always respected Kendrick. Obviously, there has been some flip-floppers, I've noticed, but industry-wise. But, I think that the way Kendrick, his critical acclaimness is even going to go even higher than this. So, and he deserves it. He's one of these last hip-hop heads where it's like, they rap. Like, Kendrick is a rapper, a rapper's rapper. He's not like the mumble drill rap. Like, he's a rapper's rapper. So I can't wait to see what this gives. Listen. Maybe I should have saved this for the second to last topic, but whatever, since it's already here. Listen. I don't know, like this Snow White live, these live actions. Listen, of course, in a way, it's like I'm a hypocrite too when it comes to this, because it's like, I be, talking about how, creatively bankrupt Hollywood is, but yet I went to go watch The Little Mermaid in theaters. I went to, and I love that film, but like, I went to go support that. So it's like, I support live actions. It's just like, it has to make sense, Everything has to make sense. And I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I saw this trailer. It's not looking good. It's not looking good. This whole CGI dwarf thing, even the whole backstory about that. Y'all need to go look up the backstory. Well, let me tell y'all. Instead of y'all looking it up, let me just give you a quick paraphrase about a summary about why Disney decided to, or I guess, I don't know, artificially or CGI dwarfs, actually, instead of getting actual dwarfs to play the dwarfs in Snow White. So apparently, what's his name? Peter Dinklage, the actor from, the one that played Tyrion from Game of Thrones. He did an interview, and I guess he was, he wasn't, yeah, you can say he was criticizing Disney for, I guess, making the Snow White live action and putting dwarves in the thing, because it's like, he said that he basically works too hard to kind of break those stereotypes about people within the dwarf community or whatever. So for them to, I guess, progress and, make this film and put these dwarfs as like just, oh, like we're just comedic like reliefs or comedic, just for comedy. It's like, I guess he found that to be offensive. So Disney's response was like, oh, okay, well, and it's very performative. Oh, okay, well, what we're gonna do is, instead of getting real dwarfs, we're gonna CGI the dwarfs instead. And I'm just like, and listen, I have no dog in this fight when it comes to this situation, because overall I just think it's stupid. It's like, if the story consists of having 6 dwarves, it's a Snow White, like, if that's the story, then that's the story. Like, I don't understand what's the problem. And then for Disney to be like, okay, well, let me try to do some performative bullshit and CGI the dwarves. And mind you, the dwarves look absolutely crazy. I need to go look up that trailer. They look insane. It just looks bad all around. Listen, Rachel Ziegler, I like her. I do like her, but let's talk about the elephant in the room. Gal Gadot, Miss Mamas, you've kind of lost the GP. You've kind of lost the GP, and I'm a part of that GP. Okay, Gal Gadot, I have not been feeling you for a long time now, since the first Wonder Woman. Okay, and I've already discussed on my channel about the first Wonder Woman and Gal Gadot's acting and everything that's going on that area of things. I don't, personally, for me, I just don't think that Gal Gadot is a good actress. I think that she's horrible as an actress. She needs to go take some acting lessons. I don't know what the hell is going on there, but and obviously her, her political stand. I won't even say political stances anymore. Her moral stances on a lot of things, especially concerning everything that's going on with Israel's assault on Palestine. So, there's a lot of things. There's a lot of things that I have issues with when it comes to Gal Gadot. So it's just overall, it's like, at least be good at one thing. It's like, if you were at least good as an actress but you were still a shitty person, it's like, in a way, it's like there is a part of me that feels like I could separate the art from the artist, but it's like, you're bad at both. You're bad at acting and you're a shitty person. So it's just like, girl, I don't know if I want to go and support this movie. And on top of that, the movie looks terrible. The trailer looks terrible. But here's the gag about it. I know we're dragging it in the comments and so forth, but y'all, I think that this movie's gonna do well. Look at freaking, are y'all surprised? Look at Wicked. Look at Moana 2. Okay? Mind you, even though I've heard that Wicked and Moana 2 are great films, but people do enjoy nostalgia. Clearly, I'm also one of those people. People enjoy nostalgia. People enjoy, making a part 2, a live actions, clearly. So it's like, while we might have our grievances, I still feel like this film could do well. Maybe Gal Gadot can get her, can get her colonizer friends to come and support this film. Listen, we got some colonizers out here. Gal Gadot can get some colonizers up in here to come and support this film. Okay? So we'll just have to wait and see what happens. But as of right now, I'm speaking as far as like the intimate sentiment and my own personal feelings for Gal Gadot. I just personally feel like I'm over it. And then for this film, it looks bad on top of that. Like, the trailer looks horrible. I'm just not into the aesthetics. And then the CGI dwarfs is just so ridiculous. Like, oh my God. But I mean, good luck to Rachel, good luck to Rachel. I hope she does well in other things. But as of this right now, I mean, she does have the Hunger Games, so I'll give her that. Next topic. Listen. I don't know. Maybe this is an unpopular opinion. I don't know. But okay. So these two are models. So Enoch, and this is what's her name? Alex. White girl's Alex. So apparently Alex let me just start from the jump. I don't follow like the modeling industry as I used to. Like I remember like maybe 3, 4 years ago, like I was really on top of it. Like I was like a huge, you know, Hadid sisters fans. Like I was a huge fan of Gigi Hadid, Bella Hadid. I'm still am, but I'm not on. Like I'm more casual when it comes to that. Like I was following their careers, Kaya Gerber, all those girls. But I will say, now that I've become a casual fan of this, I've noticed casually that Anuk, I've seen her around as far as like on the socials, red carpets, ramps. Like she's been on everybody's radar. Okay, Met Galas. Like she kills the Met Galas. Like always looking gorgeous, beautiful, whatever. Alex, I'm forgetting her last name. I think it's Casaloni. Casaloni. Yeah. I apologize if I'm mispronouncing her last name. Alex, well, I knew that she was a model, but from what I've seen on my end on the social media side of things, it was always like the antics, like the skits and the dancing and the doing the weird dances and as if she's fidgeting or something. I always, anytime she's come onto my timeline, it was, personally, and I could be wrong, and of course I'm wrong because as I gone on, I saw her on the ramps, but like for the most part, I've only seen videos of her, doing these, weird dances and twitching and fidgeting and, just doing her skits and stuff like that. And so apparently there was this like whole like model of the year thing that happened, award, and they gave it to Alex. Okay, they gave it to Alex. So apparently, Anak, definitely felt some type of way because she posted a Kanye meme where, Kanye walked up on Taylor Swift, such and such, and people took it out shit. And it was a sense of like disappointment, I would say, for her. And once she got backlash, she ended up writing, if you have seen the effort that I've seen Alex put in, you would understand how proud I am of her. But Alex can be proud and I can be exhausted at the same time. It doesn't take away how much love we have for each other. Now, I'm gonna just say this. I find nothing wrong with this statement. I can also see where people feel like, okay, well, Anak took away from Alex's moment with this. Yes, I can see that. But at the same time, can we just be honest? Like, a lot of times, black models, especially dark-skinned black models, are extremely overlooked within the fashion industry. We're just gonna have to keep it honest right here. We're gonna have to keep it honest. And especially when you see social media genuinely big up Anak when she's on the red carpets, when she's on the ramps. I feel like I know Anak more for the actual traditional modeling than I know Alex for her traditional modeling. I feel like Alex is more the social media, okay, let me do my little dances, influencer personality kind of thing. Not to say that she's not an actual model. She is. But for me, I think that like when you put these two together and you look at their work, people will kind of look at, okay, well, Anak has really been out here. But I don't know, maybe it's an unpopular opinion for me to be saying this, but like, I just think that like, I can understand where Anak is coming from. I can understand why she feels so exhausted. It's like, you put in so much work, you work twice as hard, only for you to be getting crumbs out of these companies, out of these industries and so forth. Okay? While it's no shade, Alex can be out here freaking goofing off and doing her little fidgety weird dances on social media, doing that, walking the ramp or doing whatever, and she gets model of the year. So it's just, in a way, it's kind of like, okay, well, what are y'all really awarding models now for? Is it for them giving personality to the clothes, them walking down the ramp, them being on these magazines, or is it for making sketches on social media, dancing weirdly and doing whatever? And this is no shade to Alex. I mean, it is shade, but like at the same time, it's like, can we be honest? Like, anytime Alex really popped up on our feed was when she was doing dances. Like, come, child, don't get me started, okay? I'm just starting to feel better. It's just personally for me, I just feel like Alex, anytime and I'm speaking as a casual fan of the fashion industry, anytime she popped up on my TL is when she was, doing them little dances and just being awkward white girl kind of thing. Whereas when you see Anak, anytime she came up on my TL, she's at the Met Gala, boom boom plow. She's at the she's walking down the ramp, boom boom plow, on these magazines. So I don't know. It's like, I think that there is a thing of, she has the right to feel exhausted and tired and just like, you put in so much work, and it's like the girl that's doing sketches is the one that got the model of the year award. So anyway, I might get a little bit of, I would like to see what other people have to say about this particularly, and I probably haven't worded my, because it's just top of my head, but I hope y'all understand what I'm trying to say in this situation. I just feel like, I don't know. It is what it is. But, congratulations to Alex. She did win the Model of the Year award. Model of the Year award. So, Anak, hopefully, get it next time. We'll see what happens with this. Lastly, I want to discuss this. So listen, I did a video, it was like a few weeks ago, where I discussed the backlash that Ryan Murphy was getting for the Monster series. And and at that time, I even said in those videos, I was like, y'all can go back to my pop culture talk review playlist. It's all there. All the videos are there. And I was even saying in that video, I haven't watched the Monster series, and I haven't, I like, the Menendez brothers, even before the Monsters and the Netflix stuff, whatever, the Menendez brothers, I always felt like I knew about the case, but I didn't know vaguely, very vaguely. Like, I felt like here and there, the news would kind of talk about them vaguely, but because, at the time, like, we were all so young. So it's like, we weren't on top of the thing, on top of this as we are now. So that was always like my stance. I honestly had no opinions about the Menendez brothers, before all this, because I didn't know too much about the case. And I actually think that's the best way with a lot of these cases, is honestly like, do not wait for everything to come out. Wait for time to pass and get the full tea. And that's really what happened with me. I was so unbiased when it comes to, probably my first time being unbiased when it comes to this kind of thing, or when it comes to these kinds of cases. The same thing with Gypsy Rose Blanchard. It's like, I didn't even know anything about that until we got the full information. And I was like, oh, wow. So that was that, but prior to Netflix. So then when Netflix got the rights and the Monster series and stuff like that, at that time I felt like I was just burnt out with what Ryan Murphy was doing. I was just like, listen, like, this guy, and I watched the Jeffrey Dahmer Monsters one, and even with that, I thought that it was like a good solid B. I wasn't like overwhelmingly impressed with the Jeffrey Dahmer one. So I was just like, I ain't watching this. I ain't watching no Menendez brother. Like, first of all, I don't know too much about the case anyway for me to be invested into it. So it's just like, I ain't watching it. I didn't watch the Monsters, and I didn't watch this documentary at the time. So I remember I went to work, and like, it was like a few weeks after I did that video, and one of my coworkers was like, girl, did you watch the Menendez brothers thing? And I was like, no, I don't know, I'm not interested. It's just I don't care too much about it. I felt like, sometimes when everything becomes too pop culture, it's just like you're like, okay, I'm kind of turned off. I feel like everybody wants us to be invested into this, and it's like it's how I feel about like Sabrina Carpenter. You know what I mean? It's like everybody wants to shove her down my throat, and it's like I'm throwing up. Okay, I'm done. But that's how I felt. But my coworker was like, oh, maybe you should watch the documentary instead, because Netflix released the Monster series, but they also released the documentary, and I think that you would be more interested in the documentary. So I was like, okay, girl, I'll see what happens. But as of right now, I'm just not interested. Even then, I was like, I'm not interested. I have a lot going on in my mind. Sorry, y'all. My dad keeps calling me. But I'm about to finish the video and I'm about to call him back. But what was it? Oh yeah. So then, I think, what was this, like maybe a week ago, 2 weeks ago, I don't know, some odd reason, something just came over me. I was like, you know what? Let me just watch this damn documentary. I'm not even going to watch the Monster series because I feel like I already saw the incest clip on Twitter. I was just like, you know what? Let me just watch this documentary. Let me watch it within like its realistic context, and let me see what both sides have to say about the situation. So I started watching it, and I'm not gonna lie, the first few like minutes of it, I end up falling asleep. I was just like, oh my God, I don't know, because I kept watching it like at the late at night. So I was just like, oh my God, I'm so exhausted. I kept falling asleep. But finally, your girl watched this documentary in its totality. Last night, I had enough energy to finally stay up and watch it. And y'all, when I was watching this documentary, I was watching it, and I was like, getting the information, because it's like, obviously vaguely at the time, especially when I didn't know too much about the case, the way people were talking about it, they were like, okay, well, these kids killed their parents because of money. So I was like, okay, well, even though I still didn't judge, but then it's like, I always also heard that there's some form of abuse. I was like, okay, well, what kind of abuse? I didn't know. I was watching this documentary, y'all. Legit, my Liptons, I think when Lyle took the stand, the older brother, when he took the stand while watching this documentary, and that was my first time ever seeing his testimony in anything. I didn't do no YouTube. Usually I would YouTube the hell out of a documentary to see what everybody or Google. I didn't do none of that when they're like cold turkey. I ended up like legit crying. Like I started sobbing actually. Like it got to the point where like my boyfriend was just like, girl, are you okay? He was like, are you good? I was legit crying. I was sobbing. When Lyle gave his testimony about, and like I said, I recommend all of you guys to go watch it, because I think, me saying is one thing, but watching it, witnessing it, hearing it from the victims is another thing. But when Lyle was talking about how his dad was sexually abusing him from, I think, 6 to 8 years old, I believe. And when he started crying, I started crying, basically. Like, that was like, I was just sobbing. And then just the abuse. And then when Eric got to the stand and he started to discuss his abuse on the stand, I was like, when I told you, I was disgusted. Like, y'all, like I said, y'all will have to watch it in order for you, if you're all comfortable with that kind of a content or hearing that kind of abuse, and you should watch it. But if not, protect your mental health, because it's like, when I was watching this, I was just like, why, like, our society, and it's like, it sucks. You know what I mean? It really, really sucks. And it's like, not only just that, but hearing the abuse was egregious, what these two went through by their father. And then their mother, oh my God, don't even get me to the mother. Don't even get me to their mother. And I get it, they still have love for their mom, but, and then not only that, the way the media treated them while they took the stand, all these, especially a lot of these Hollywood elites, because The Menendez brothers' father, Jose Menendez, he was very I think he was like the head of RCA or something. Like he was a very powerful man in Hollywood. So I guess when you come for one of us, I guess you're coming for all of them, because everybody and their mama in Hollywood were against the Menendez brothers. It was that public and that mainstream and pop culture that like everybody had to say or talk anything. Like it was that bad, and the way they treated it, the way they made fun of them, the way it was terrible. I was legit disgusted. I was I was in a way, it was like I was mourning for them while I was watching this. And let me just say this, right? I was watching this one YouTuber do the reaction to the documentary, and they were like, I don't feel like it was right for like or is that the slippery slope what we're gonna do, or like just because you were abused you're gonna end up killing your parents. Listen, maybe this is a radical thing to come from me, or radical in general, radical thinking, but if you're performing pedophilic acts, incest on your kids, on anybody, for that, anybody, your own children, anybody's children, if you're a pedophile, if you commit incest, if you sexually abuse children, whatever, you do those kinds of things, I guess it's radical to say, yes, I believe that you should die. Yes, I understand they could have called the popo, they could have called the police and have that handled, but guess what? They were like, you know what? I choose violence for violence. Sometimes when you're in an environment that fosters a lot of violence, you're gonna have of course these two boys are gonna foster violent tendencies. So it's like I don't like when people be like, oh well, yeah, they could have been abused, but that doesn't mean like they had the right to take their lives. Like I said, it might be radical for me to say this, but the way that these two boys were sexually abused, and I know we have to say allegedly because it hasn't been proven, but I absolutely believe without a shadow of a doubt that these two were abused. Absolutely. Like you don't say those kinds of things, especially how detailed and oh my god, y'all need to go watch this documentary for you guys to understand what I'm talking about, because it was horrific. The abuse was horrific. And then on top of that, you had the prosecutor at the end. Oh, the only reason why, like basically talking to like Netflix and, the production house of Netflix and whatever. Oh, the only reason why we're even doing this documentary is because, people on TikTok, have been making this trend, making it go viral, trying to get the boys released and stuff like that, trying to advocate for them to get released. And well, that's the only reason why. And at the end of the day, they're convicted. And I was like, when I was watching this, I was just like wanting to jump through the screen. Like, when you have those moments where you're going to jump through the screen and punch somebody. I wanted to punch that freaking prosecutor. It's like, she's so cocky. Like, she's so like, well, at the end of the day, they had no right to, well, this is alleged abuse. And, at the end of the day, these two privileged boys can end up killing their parents, blah, blah, blah. It's just like, girl. And let's go back to this whole, like, oh, TikTok made this thing. I'm glad TikTok made this viral again. I'm glad social media brought this to the mainstream's eye. Because too many times, we tend to overlook abuse, especially when it comes to abuse of, hell, we don't even do well when it comes to girls as it is. When girls or women are abused, y'all wouldn't spit on them if they were on fire. And that's one thing. But my goodness, let a man come out saying that they were sexually abused by whoever, by their parents, whatever. And look how they're treated. And it's like when they do take certain actions to make sure to get their abusers off their back. Oh my God. Well, and I get it. We need to believe in the justice system. All right, I'm coming. We need to believe in the justice system. We need to, and I get that. Of course, we do need to believe in some form of rule of law. But at the end of the goddamn day, y'all, these two were sexually the way let's be very clear. That father is in hell along with the mother. Kitty and Jose Menendez are in hellfire. Okay, let's be very clear about that. I'm not worried about or crying about these two motherfuckers. At the end of the day, all I can say is that I hope that they get released. I hope that they are retried. I hope that they do get. It's too much. First of all, they shouldn't. Obviously, if I was on the case, it wouldn't have even been. It would have not even been a thing. Clearly, if I was one of the jurors, but even that whole, even the way they were convicted, especially like it was a hung jury, and then the second trial, that second trial was completely botched because that judge. Oh my god, y'all need to go and watch the documentary if y'all to understand what I'm talking about. But like I said, all I can hope and pray is that they get released. They shouldn't have went to jail in the first place. But if y'all guys claim that, oh yeah, they deserve to get jail time for the way they murdered their parents,